Dehancer is a plugin that makes film print emulations easier. You can use it on DaVinci Resolve, After Effects, Premiere Pro and Final Cut. Dehancer even have a plugin for Photoshop, Lightroom, Capture One and Affinity. If you use your iPad or iPhone to create content, Dehancer has an app for iOS devices on the App Store. Basically, it does film stock emulations, film grains, halation, bloom and much more. You can grade your footage just with this plugin or use it as a last touch to your grade. In this video, I'm gonna show you how I use this plugin to color grade. If you want to try out Dehancer for yourself, you can use my code YOLSAL to get a 10% off your purchase. When you purchase and download Dehancer, they will provide you a PDF that explains everything from what color space you should be in to what the sliders do in the plugin. I'm not gonna be explaining every slider, I'm just gonna show you how I color grade using Dehancer. I am working on a DaVinci White Gamut color space, so my node 3 will be something like this. I'm just gonna create 3 nodes, first and the last will be my color space transform. This was shot on Sony S-Log3, so I'm just gonna choose that for my input. And for my output, I'm going to be choosing DaVinci White Gamut. For the last node, I'm basically converting my DaVinci White Gamut to Rec 709. My second node will be the Dehancer plugin. When you first drop the plugin, it will come with all the panels open. If you want to close them, you can hold Alt or Option and click on one of the tiles. Let's go into the input and change our source to DaVinci White Gamut. Now we're ready to color grade. Before I start, I'm just gonna disable the film grain. If you go onto the film, you can choose one of the film negatives from here, but I don't like using those, so I'm just gonna disable that. In print, I'm going to be choosing Kodak 2383. I really like this look. And on the film compression, you can compress your highlights. If you look at the scopes, you can see what it does. If I disable and enable it, you can see the difference. The expand tab is basically your contrast. I'm just gonna lower my blacks a little bit and raise my highlights just a touch. If you go back to the print, you can change your white balance, your exposure, contrast and color density. But for this footage, I don't think we need to do any of this. So, color head is a great way to create unique looks. I'm just gonna put some green into my footage. And I'm just gonna push a little bit blue into my shadows. Maybe we need to warm our midtones a little bit. I'm just gonna warm up my shadows a bit. And I think this looks great. So let's go into the film grain. You can use one of the presets, but I really like to use the custom one. I like my grains are small, so I'm just gonna decrease the size. Decrease the amount on the shadows and highlights. A little bit on the midtones. I'm just gonna decrease the overall amount of the grain. And I'm just gonna decrease the chroma. And this looks good. Let's go into the halation. Again, you can use any of these, or you can use the custom. I usually use custom, but for this shot, I think it looks great, so I'm just gonna leave this. Let's add some bloom. Again, I can go custom, but I like this, so I'm just gonna leave this. I'm not gonna do anything else to this footage. If I disable and enable the Dehancer plugin, you can see the difference. We get this beautiful look under a couple of minutes. Let's color grade another footage. I got this one from DaVinci's website, and I'm gonna be using the same node tree structure. So let's drop in our Dehancer. I'm just gonna close the grain for now. For our input, DaVinci White Gamut Intermediate. I'm just gonna disable the film negative. I'm just gonna enable the film compression. As you can see on the slides, film compression just brings them down. Let's apply our Kodak 2383 film print. I'm just gonna warm it up a bit. Let's use our expand to lift up our blacks. And let's go back to the print and add some contrast. This looks good. Let's go into the color head and enable it. I'm just gonna add some blue, maybe a little bit of green. So I'm just gonna take my midtones and warm it up a bit. I think this looks good. Let's add some grain. I'm just gonna use the custom again. Gonna bring down the size. Bring down the amount. Let's bring down the grain on the shadows. A little bit on the midtones and on the highlights. Usually you want more grain on your midtones, and this looks good. But let's close down the chroma. Inhalation, I'm going to be use the custom again. If you look at the highlights, you can see what the Emulation does. I think this is enough. Let's go into the bloom and enable it. Again, I'm going to be using the custom. For the bloom, again, you can look at the highlights and you can see what it does. Let's crank that up. I like this, I'm not gonna be messing around with that. And this is our final grade. Again, let's see the before and after. This was the log, this is Rec 709, and this is our look. From this to this, we only used one node, just the Dehancer plugin. For under 5 minutes, you can get this kind of result with the plugin. As you can see, Dehancer helps you get this kind of results using only one node. Make sure to try the Dehancer for yourself. If you want to purchase the plugin, make sure to use my code YOLSALT to get 10% off your purchase. If you have any questions, I will be answering them on the comments below. And I want to thank Dehancer for making this video possible.